This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When send past the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? It is your boy. I don't know how much is popping right now because we took the L tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We took the L. There were a lot of us that believed the Knicks were going to blow out the Pistons tonight. I'm going to tell you what. We got bullied tonight. I don't care what nobody says. I'm sorry. Even Cade Cunningham dipped his shoulder and knocked OG to the floor as he went to the basket. I don't know, man. We got killed on the boards. 44-36. Oh, I'm sorry. 53-44, something like that. Maybe it's not totally correct. Looking at that NBA.com, it might not be there. But we lost the board, the battle of the boards. We got out-bullied. I don't know, man. Everything we talked about in the pregame show that the Knicks need to do, it didn't happen. Right? It didn't happen. One-man show, Jalen Brunson, 27 shot attempts tonight. 12 for 27. Fourth quarter, it was all Brunson. Brunson. We're not going to win that way. I'm sorry. I don't care. We're not going to win that way. We're not going to win that way. It's not going to happen. 11 shot attempts for Cat. That's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. 11 shot attempts for Karl Anthony Towns. He's supposed to be your second best scorer on the team. Come on. How do you not get him the basketball? Part of it is him floating on the perimeter, spreading the floor so Brunson can go to the basket instead of getting his ass in the post. Right? Everybody talked about in the pregame, Tobias Harris, guarding Cat. Cat can do what he wants. Well, I guess he did what he wanted. He only wanted to shoot 11 times. We're not going to win like that. I promise you. We need more balance on the offensive side because right now we're playing into the hands of the defense, a tough defense at that. We're playing into the hands of the defense. And as long as we continue to play into the hands of the defense, the games will be just like this. We scored 94 points tonight against the Pistons. 94 points. We scored 123 points in the first game, largely due to the fourth quarter. Let's not act like that. That's not the reason why. It was largely due to the fourth quarter. Tonight, we couldn't really find a rhythm because of the way that they played. They played tough. They played aggressive. They don't give a damn if we're crying up to the referees. As a matter of fact, they want us to cry to the referees. And, I mean, okay, we played good defense. We made a run in the fourth quarter. We tied the game. Right? I dig that. I get that. And that's beautiful. I love that we came back and tied the game, but it don't mean it doesn't mean shit right now because we're in the playoffs. There's no more moral victories. There's no more of them. You win or you go home. There's no more moral victories. There's no more of them. You got to win the game. And we got to do what's necessary to win, and we did not do that tonight. I mean, I don't know what to say. Let's be honest with you. I don't know what to say. We try to turn it up in the fourth quarter. That's not going to work. That's not the recipe. It's not the recipe. You got to do it throughout the game. You got to do it throughout the game. Detroit's confident. Detroit is confident. They weren't fazed by that loss in game one at all. And it was apparent from the beginning of the game. Detroit is confident. They're here to win. And they feel like they can beat us. Now they're going home they're going back to Detroit with home court advantage. It's tough. And listen, this is what teams go through, and good basketball teams will bounce back. I mean, the game, obviously the series isn't over. It's definitely going 5. Good basketball teams will bounce back. The Knicks need to bounce back in game 3. We can't go down 2-1. We got to bounce back in game 3. We've got to figure out how to get some offensive flow. We got to figure out, we need more movement. I mean, this little corny-ass play, all right, Brunson got the ball, I'm going to pitch it to Mikal Bridges and then come back and get it for what? It doesn't make sense. We need some real movement. And then everyone else is standing out on the perimeter. Like, that does nothing. And then Brunson is going to dribble the ball for 15 seconds. Seen it too many times tonight. Dribble the ball for 15 seconds. We need more movement. I know the defense is tough. I know there's a lot of grabbing and holding and all that stuff, but that's how you counteract it. By moving. I don't get it. That's how you counteract it. We got to figure it out. And, there wasn't any great adjustments made by the Pistons, in my opinion. There wasn't any great adjustments made. I think they knew there was going to be a lot of ISO, and that wasn't going to change. So they said, we're just going to clamp down tougher on the defensive side. We're just going to be more aggressive. We're going to whip Brunson's ass. We're going to make him tired. We're going to beat him up the entire game. And that's what they did. They beat him up the entire game. And if they keep beating him up the entire game, and the Knicks keep going one-on-one, and Brunson keeps getting 27 shots, nobody else touches 20. Bridges had 18. Cat is supposed to be your second option. He's supposed to be able to loosen things up for Brunson. Gets 11. I mean, even in game 1, Cat had maybe 14 attempts, I think. That's not going to be successful, in my opinion. It's just not. It's not going to be successful. Jamrock, you said, look at our coach first and foremost. He sees the same thing. I'm not saying that the coach don't see it and that he doesn't need to make changes. Do you want me to? You guys want me to mention it in every breath? Let's put it like this. Even when, the other, Tony and some people in the chat, said that Tom Thibodeau did this, that in the first game. I didn't really say much about it. You all want to focus on one thing. I'm trying to focus on what's happening with the entire team, and Coach Thibodeau is part of that. And so are the players. If that's all you're going to focus on, Go ahead, whatever. I'm going to talk about what I'm seeing out there on the basketball court. Because these players can make decisions too. And the coach can call plays, and the coach can tell them to run something different to get more movement or whatever it is. They all can do it. I'm talking about what I see on the court. I ain't in the mood for all that right now. Calm down. $37 points for Jalen Brunson tonight. 37 points, 7 assists, 44% from the field, only 33% from the three-point line for Jalen Brunson. Mikal Bridges did show up. I was pissed off he missed the open three at the end. At the end, he was wide open, but Brunson missed the open three too. 19 points for Mikal Bridges, 5 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns, 10 points, 6 rebounds. 11 shot attempts. Doesn't make sense to me. It's crazy. Doesn't make sense. You got to have more shot attempts for that, for Cat. He's got to get more shot attempts. He can't stay on the perimeter while the floor is spread. Right? So that Brunson can go one-on-one. Can't do that. We need his offensive firepower against this basketball team. He needs to get his ass in the post. Josh Hart. I mean, you're not expecting Josh Hart to be a crazy scorer, but, 10 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 for 6. OG Anunoby, 10 shot attempts, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. We're going to need more from everybody. We need more court awareness for Jalen Brunson. We need more play calling from Tom Thibodeau. We need more shot attempts from Karl Anthony Towns. We need more consistency from Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby. We need to start the games with intensity instead of trying to wait until we're down 15. This is not a successful recipe. This is not a recipe that's meant for success right now. It's not. And if we keep playing like this, we will get eliminated by the Pistons if we keep doing this, because they're riding high. They left the game. They left game one with confidence. Still, like, okay, you know what? We had them. We made mistakes down the end of the game. We didn't make layups we should have made. We didn't make open threes. We turned the basketball over. We take care of the basketball. Different game. Well, guess what? The Pistons had 4 less turnovers tonight. Had 19 in game one, had 15 tonight. They figure out a way to keep taking care of the basketball, but the Knicks counteracted. The Knicks had 14 turnovers, so counteracted each other. Counteracted. Eight points for Deuce. Played 13 minutes. Mitch Robinson, 20 minutes. No points, 7 rebounds. Campaign, Landry Shamet, both only played 4 minutes. Keith Turner said Cat was supposed to dominate this game. That's why I call him soft. He doesn't have that dog mentality. And Keith, I agree with you. I agree with you. In this type of basketball, in this type of game, at this juncture, at this position, you demand the basketball. You get in the post, say, no, give me the rock. I don't give a damn if you got to yell at Brunson. I don't care if you got to look him dead in his face. Tell him, give me the ball. Stop. Give me the ball. I'm trying not to curse right now, yo. I really am. I'm not happy. I'm trying not to curse. But it's embarrassing. It's bad. Because we didn't play with that heart. We didn't play with that. No, we played with heart. I'm not gonna say that. We played with heart and we played tough. We held them to 104 points, 100 points. But it's decision making, shot making. We shot 42% from the field, 28.6% from the 3-point line. You know? Cade Cunningham. He played tonight like he's the best player on the floor. He played with that type of confidence, like he's the best player on the floor. Like nobody can really stop him out there. He can do whatever he wants to do, and he did that tonight. Say what you want. Like the man that don't like him. I don't see why anybody would not like him. 33 points tonight, 12 rebounds. Got to the basket when he wanted to get to the basket, pushed people out the way when he needed to. Right? Just play tough, aggressive basketball. 33 points, 12 rebounds. Dennis Schroeder, 20 points, hit a big three. Game is tied. Dennis Schroeder knocks down a three. Big one, ice in his veins. Brunson comes back to try to answer with a three. We didn't need to answer with a three at that point in time. Tries to answer with a three, misses it. They come back. I don't know. I mean, we get the ball. We have another chance to tie. Brunson kicks the ball out to Bridges. Bridges misses the three, and you know the way the rest goes. Jalen Duren, 12 points, 13 rebounds. Used his strength, used his aggressiveness, used his body to push people around, including Karl Anthony Towns. You know, so I telling y'all, man. Big Bubba, what's popping, bro? Big Bubba.
What's first of all, how are you doing, man?
I'm not doing good. I'm not doing good. So I'm not doing good at all. I'm not doing good. See, the Knicks winning was supposed to be my saving grace for the day. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really have a great day. You know what I mean? Ready to slap my boss in the face. Not really my boss, but got a contract with somebody, and so he's my boss because I have a contract with him, and I'm ready to slap him. So, you know, I was expecting tonight for the Knicks to win. And this happens. Now I gotta go. I need to go to the gym and punch something. Where you at, Big Bubba? Are you trying to play one-on-one right now? Because if you want to play one, like I will dust you off 100-0 right now. I'm pissed.
Oh man,
I'm pissed off. What's up?
I don't want to add on. You know, I don't want to add on to your day and beat you, man. I don't want to do that, man.
What's up?
That'd be the icing on the cake. Nah, Sim, you know, I'm listening to you, and there's a lot of things that I'm not shocked about because this has been the Knicks throughout the season, right? Cat not being aggressive enough. Jalen Brunson with the awareness. OG not showing, just players not showing up. Tom Thibodeau not coaching. This, to me, we should have won tonight. We kept them to 104 points.
100.
why we, and we all this firepower and only scoring 94 points. This has been an issue throughout the season. So like it, I
We don't
I
have no
want to be mad.
firepower. We don't really have that much firepower when you think about it. Too many players are off and on to have that kind of firepower. Too many players. The only one that's always on is Brunson. Everybody else is off and on. Karl Anthony Towns most of the time. OG goes on runs. Bridges goes on runs.
Yeah, and that's the part where I want to be massive, but it's just something that I'm so used to this season, right? And the Knicks, it's the frustrating part because the Knicks now put themselves in a position where you got to win one in Detroit. You have to. Even though you had to anyway, but now it's more important that you get a win in Detroit. And
more important. It's way more important that they get a win. I mean, if you don't get a win in Detroit, you come back home down 3-1. Forget about it.
Yeah, that's all she wrote.
So you got to get at least one.
Yeah, you have to. Again, listen, we talked about this earlier. So this team just lacks. It's missing that dog. It's missing that sense of urgency. It's too many calm people on this team versus somebody's like, yo, I ask about these young fellas right now. We gotta wake up. You know what I'm saying? And now, like you said, we're giving Detroit this confidence. We're giving them all this confidence to feel like they can win. I mean, this to me again, right? This should be no reason why Cade, shot terrible in the first game, and then comes back. Oh, I got it figured out now. That's to me. What's the preparation to me this year? And again, if you're a great player, you're gonna figure it out. But this kid, this is his second playoff game, like in his career, and he's already got it figured out.
I mean,
defensively,
he actually started figuring things out in the second half of the first game. I mean, he had 15 points in the second half of game one. He was 5 for 11 from the field, 6 assists.
You know what I'm saying? And that's
that's how they took a lead, right? They figured out that if they protect the basketball, they get more Cade. They continue. They play even more physical. That they beat us. And that's what they did.
And then it's more embarrassing when you don't have Isaiah Stewart there. That's really their enforcer. And I don't know, Sim. I know a lot of people. I'm not gonna. And I'm not trying to say this right now, but it's not looking good for Tom Thibodeau. I'm gonna just say that. It is just really, really not.
Why not?
So
why not?
Robert? Mean, I just again, right? We're the whole purpose of him was one of the purposes. One of his best qualities was we know who we're facing. This man spends, hours and hours figuring out strategies, and again, your strategy with Cade is done by halftime of the first game.
Bro, you're not shutting Cade down. I'm sorry. Even in the first, you're not shutting him down. He's a really good basketball player. If you're expecting that they're going to shut him down every game,
he has some flaws that I think you could definitely take care of.
You're not, bro. Cade averaged 26.1 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists in the regular season. He's an all-star on his way to being a great player. I think we've got to stop. And I ain't even talking about. I mean, OG's not locking him down and shutting him down. Neither is Mikal Bridges. We're not shutting him down. So let's stop fooling ourselves with that. There are other ways that we can shut this team down. Cade Cunningham is by far their best player. Right? Dennis Schroeder, 20 points. Come on. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop believing that we're shutting Cade down. It's not happening. Let's not fool ourselves. He's good. He's good. He's an all-star. He's on his way to being a Hall of Fame player. So let's not fool ourselves. We're not shutting him down. So we got to stop that. I'm sorry. We're not shutting him down. He booed over OG Anunoby. He dipped his shoulder, banged him, and OG fell on the ground, couldn't do nothing. As big as OG is, strong as OG is. And you know what? That type of thing right there lets your opponent know you can't hold my jock strap, bro. Right? That's what he's telling him. Step off me. You soft. So I think we got to stop believing that. We're fooling ourselves. So go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. We're not shutting Cade down, no, but go ahead.
No. I mean, listen, the purpose of them is to slow him down, but it's, again, right, this has been the Knicks all season. We'll get a win, and then it's hard to beat these teams. Again, this season we're just lacking what I feel the confidence and the player to wake this team up and have the uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah, we are.
And again, right, this is now the Knicks have now put themselves in a position where if you were to win tonight, you could have afforded to go 2. You could have afforded to go 0-2 in Detroit. You could have. I wouldn't have preferred it, but you could have. Now, yeah, you can't. You gotta win at least. You gotta win one of these games. You know, you have to win one of these games, and I don't know, Sim. I really am not that confident in this team. To be quite frank with you, this team all season has not proved to me that when adversity has really, really hit, they can bounce back.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're gonna see. We're really gonna see, and I hate to sound this because it's the playoffs times, and this is the big difference from last year and a couple years ago, where you know what, I know the Knicks are gonna at least fight. Well, this year I just don't know.
They're gonna fight. They fought in this game. I mean, they were down 15. They came back. They tied the game. They shouldn't have been. They shouldn't have been down 15.
But Sim, like you said, Sim,
they're gonna fight.
This is the part that's the part that gets tiring. Is like we gotta I don't know about you, but man, these first and third quarters be killing us sometimes, man. Where it's like it's just like do we not wake up for games? Like do we not? Because why do we have no urgency? Like sometimes we really lack urgency.
Well, it's the personality of the players on this team. How many times it's the personality of the players of the team. Too laid back, too cool, too relaxed. They don't. Our individual players don't play with urgency. Besides Brunson, Josh Hart, these other guys don't really play with urgency, right? So how do we expect the team to have urgency if they don't play with urgency until their backs are against the wall? How do we expect them to have it if that's not the makeup, if that's not the mentality of the players? I don't. Big Commodity said, Cade will be shut down. I said it. I disagree with you big time.
We only shut him down for like half a. We shut him down for half a half.
Listen, Cade is a cool customer, man. He's smooth. He's cool. I don't think he was worried about being so-called shut down at all. I don't think he was worried about that. I think he could feel it out and felt like, you know what? I still got to my spot. I mean, he still had 21 points and 12 assists. Probably still felt like, you know, I got to my spots. I mean, he shot 25% from the three-point line all season. And let's not fool ourselves on that front. I don't think that's the strategy that we need to go by. If Tom Thibodeau's going by that strategy that we got to shut down Cade, then that's a problem. That's a big problem because you're not. What we can't do is let Dennis Schroeder drop 20 on us. And I'm not saying Schroeder's a bad player. He's not. And we've seen Schroeder be a starting point guard on good basketball teams and be able to score. But right now, no, Schroeder shouldn't be dropping 20 on us. You know, the question was, can the Pistons have three guys score, 20 plus points again? They didn't need to because their defense is aggressive. They foul on every possession. And it's making our guys play softer. Fade into the corner. I'm watching Brunson in the fourth quarter, boom, boom, go for his. And I'm like, where's Cat? When is the last time he touched the ball? The next thing you know, I see Tobias Harris riding Cat out of bounds while Cat's trying to get a rebound, right? Well, why is Cat going around Tobias Harris to go in and try to get a rebound? Push through him. Use your height, your strength, your size. Push through him. You let Tobias Harris push you all the way out of bounds, out of rebounding position. Come on. That's craziness. That's wild.
Nah, and Sim, people, and this was the downside of getting Cat. And you know what, Sim, I was never wanted to be one of those people that be like, "Oh, Cat's soft," but it gets to a point sometimes where it's like, dude, like, what are we doing? And also, too, Sim, 8 points off the bench. 8 points. Shemit barely shot. Payne barely shot. I don't think Payne had a field goal.
Payne didn't shoot.
I mean, Sim, come on, man. What are we doing?
They didn't play enough.
Like, I'm really trying not to get frustrated because I am already, and it's just a lot that there's no urgency. There's no urgency on this team.
Yeah. Big Commodity said, I saw Curry had 3 points last week. It can be done. Call me. Give me a phone call when Steph Curry has 3 points in the playoffs. Do that. Guaranteed. I guarantee you Steph Curry is not going to have 3 points in the playoffs. He will not be held to 3 points in the playoffs. I can guarantee you that. Not the playoffs. I mean, let's put it like this. Jay Beckton, and y'all might be tired of the comparison. I don't care. He said Cat had 10 points and 6 rebounds. He did. And you know what? When Julius Randle was having bad games in the playoffs, he was grabbing like 17 boards. 16, 17 boards when he was having bad games in the playoffs. When he was scoring 11 points, 12 points, he was still grabbing 16, 17 boards. We just needed his scoring. 10 points, 6 rebounds. I don't know, man. We can't afford for this guy to fade away.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Sim. If
And Tom Thibodeau has to demand that he gets the ball in his positions and not on the perimeter. Not on the perimeter. Tell him to get his ass in the post. Get his ass into the post. Go ahead. What was you gonna say? Then we'll let you go.
yeah, my last few things, Sim. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let Cat keep performing like this, Sim. Whew. There's gonna be a lot of questions.
Yeah. There will be.
There's not gonna be enough answers.
There will be.
But no. But I will say this though, Sim. I mean, hey, we lost again. I'm frustrated. Again, the Knicks have done this all season where they put themselves in a position that's unfavorable, but we gotta win either Thursday or I think we're gonna play Saturday. So
We played Thursday and Sunday. Either Thursday and Sunday or Friday.
Thursday and Sunday?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, Sim,
Yeah.
it's no other choice. You got to get if you don't get a win, you might as well call this series over.
We don't get a win, we in trouble. You know.
Clever?
I said we don't get a win, we're in trouble. There's no doubt about it. But you know what? This is when you find out, because we've all seen better basketball teams, or higher seeded teams lose a game at home, to a lower seeded team, whatever it is, and that team, wake up and come back and win. Do I think there's a wake up for the Knicks? Nah, I don't know if there's a wake up. But I still do believe that this team is learning on the fly. They're a sponge, they're figuring out how to win as a team, because it is a new basketball team. So they are figuring out how to win. And now they're figuring out how to win in the playoffs as a team, as a group. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear them in the telecast talk about, they've been to such and such, the semifinals, 3 of the last 3 years, or whatever they said. But this is a very different basketball team than those teams. It's a different team. This team is learning how to win together, believe it or not. They learned how to win in the regular season. Now they're learning how to win in the playoffs. So are the Detroit Pistons. I'm not saying that they're not. Right? So are the Pistons. They're learning how to win. Both teams are learning how to win. The Pistons are much younger than the Knicks. Right? But they're trying to figure some things out. They're trying to figure some things out. Right? The difference between the Pistons and the Knicks, the Pistons don't have no pressure to win. They, nobody even thought they were going to be here this year. The Pistons don't have pressure to make it to the second round or the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not making that as an excuse for the Knicks. All I'm saying is there's a difference between the two teams. The two teams are at a different point in their trajectory. The Pistons are young, and they put some vets around them. They're an upstart team, the same way the Knicks were a few years ago. Now, the Knicks made some moves that's supposed to bring them up higher. So there's a little bit more pressure. You know what I mean? There's a little bit more pressure on the Knicks to win than it is on the Pistons. The Pistons could have got swept in this round, and everybody would have been giving them hand claps. Great season. Now build on it. The Knicks get swept losing this round. Oh, shit. Right?
So let me tell you something, son, before I go.
Yeah.
I know some people will be happy, some people aren't. If the Knicks lose this series, I don't know how long Jay Dolan Patriots is going to be. But I do know Tom Thibodeau won't be here next year.
I don't know about that. I just believe that this regime is going to let him finish his contract unless something egregious happens. Finish his contract, and then they'll make a decision if they're going to keep him or let him go. I just think that's what this regime. I think that's how this regime is. I think they put together a plan and they say we're going to rock with this plan, and we're going to let him finish out his contract. Because if they don't let him finish out his contract, they got to fire him, pay him, and then pay somebody else. Right? And now they're paying too. I mean, how long have the Knicks done that? How many years in a row have the Knicks done that? I don't think so. I think he's going to finish his contract, and then once they get to the end of his contract, his current contract, they're going to make a decision. That's what I think is going to happen.
How many years he got left?
Like 2 or 3.
I don't know, Sim. If they lose it, I don't know. But
I mean, I think. Listen, I we're in the moment. We're not looking at the totality of things. We're not looking at where we came from and where we are, right? So I think this regime has been. I mean, look at the way this regime moves, right? They go and they try to get players who don't have sketchy backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? Are going to be, model basketball players and stuff like that, right? Good guys. Like, that's who they go and get. They're about stability. You know what I'm saying? And so I think they are going to ride with him, try to get him the players that he's asked, the type of players that he's asking for. You know what I'm saying? Listen to what he's saying. Okay, I need this, I need that, boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get to the end, they're going to look at what he's done. They're going to look at the roster. They're going to look at the style of play, the win-loss total, the playoffs, success in the playoffs, and then make a decision. I think that's the way that they roll. Unless he does something like crazy, like sleep with a player's wife or something, then of course, right? But I think they're going to just let this thing rock out. So I don't think it's like, oh my God, they got eliminated in the first round. We got to fire Tibbs. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to let him finish out his contract and then make a decision from there. Now, when we get to the end of his contract and they have a chance to extend him, you'll know what they're thinking. They're thinking, right? Because they'll have a chance to extend him if they say, no, we're gonna let this season ride out and see what this season does, and then we'll talk about it. Then in their brain they might be thinking we need to make a change. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that change comes. If it's going to come, I don't think it comes until his contract is over. Right? This Knicks team has been a picture of stability, and I think they're going to maintain that. Yeah, so, yeah, that's what I think.
Well, we're going to see.
That's what I think.
Well, some I know other people want to call in and air out their feelings, so I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna see you Thursday.
All right, man. Don't
All right,
take
brother.
it.
Be good, man.
Don't take it too hard. Don't start like comfort eating. You've been doing good.
I
All right.
I don't do that. I don't even eat past 8 o'clock, man. I don't even eat past 8 o'clock.
For real. Is that a struggle for you?
Yeah, man. No. Not really. I just have to be disciplined. Well, I was struggling in the beginning, but it's got to be disciplined, man. Don't eat after 8 o'clock.
All right. Well, no, that's why you go to sleep early then. I'm pretty sure it's like, I can't eat. I might as well go to sleep. Because if you stay awake, you're gonna be tempted to eat.
Oh yeah, I'll be knocked out early, man.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you go ahead and get to sleep, man. Peace.
How about peace?
Peace. Tom Thibodeau's contract, ladies and gentlemen, is up in 27-28. All right, so there's 3 years left on Tom Thibodeau's contract, but we're in the middle of the playoffs. We're talking about firing him. I mean, we're in the middle of the playoffs. Let's get through this. JJ from Brooklyn, what's popping, bro?
So what's good, man?
I'm good.
What's going on,
man? I'm good. Overall, but I'm pissed off that the Knicks lost.
Yeah. I'm tight. I mean, I just got a lot of issues right now. I mean, listen, a lot of people, not me, but a lot of people were poo-pooing the fact that This team, let's be real, this team beat us 3 out of 4 in the season.
Mhm.
And we're lucky the series is tied. They've outplayed us both games.
That's the
We had to
truth.
pull, basically, a hat out of our ass to win game 1.
Mm-hmm.
We should be down 0-2. Let's keep it a buck. Like, this team is just not a good matchup. Am I saying we're going to lose the series? No. But I always felt like this was going to be a dogfight. This is not a good matchup. I mean, how much more do we have to see? Like, people act like, oh, the season doesn't matter. It does matter. I'm not saying it means everything, but people act like it meant nothing. And it does. It means something. We're very fortunate when we're not down 0-2. Am I happy with it's 1-1? No. But it should be 0-2, if we're being honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
You're
They've
not
outplayed
lying.
us, both games.
You're not lying.
You
You're
know?
not lying. Because if it wasn't for that 21-0 run, we'd be down 0-2.
Yeah.
There's a good chance we'd be down 0-2. But we could also, better decisions down the stretch of this game, we could be up 2-0. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we tied
Right.
the game at 94.
Mm-hmm.
Play a little bit better defense.
Sure did.
Schroeder maybe doesn't knock down the 3.
I wanted to ask you about that play. The miscommunication on that 3, Schroeder, but Harden Brunson. Whose fault was that?
I'd have to look at it again. I'm not even sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd have to look at it.
Because they were
and see.
both like, it's like, do I step up? No, you step up. No, you step up. And then
Yeah.
Brunson was like, I guess I will, and it was too late.
Yeah, that
Like,
defensive communication is not always there. Like, there needs to be a rule at who calls the switch.
Right.
So that they know
play is
who's
too
calling.
big to have a miscommunication.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
And-
If Schroeder doesn't hit that 3, we play better defense. He doesn't hit that 3, we might be coming back down and scoring and take a lead. You know what I mean? So while I understand what you're saying, we could be down 0-2. If it weren't for that run, we could be up 2-0 if we played a little better defense.
Yeah, I just got a lot of frustration with this game. I mean, specifically Towns. I mean, Tobias Harris, for real? He's going to hold you scoreless the whole second half? Say what you want, Brunson this, Brunson that. Demand the ball. You know, you scored on him, then you want to point at him, and then what? And then you did nothing after that. Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the size advantage. There's no Isaiah Stewart out there bodying you like you did the last game of the regular season, the last time we played them in the season. He's not out there. He's the toughest defense, physical wise, and you let him, I mean, it can't happen, man. I mean, and then the Brunson over dribbling. You're playing right into the Pistons' hands.
Right into it.
We're not getting into our sets until there's less than 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Right.
And that's forcing us into a bad shot, a contested shot, a heave. We keep playing this way, we're in serious. I mean, point blank, we'll be in serious trouble.
Yeah.
Let them lose this series. Swear.
Yeah. I don't know, JJ. I'm hoping that it doesn't come to that. The next game is obviously
Thursday.
An important one.
Oh boy, that's the truth.
It's a big one. We can't lose that game.
Boy, what's your nervous meter right now? Let's say 1 to 5.
I'm nervous.
Be honest.
I'm nervous, man. I'm at a 4. I ain't gonna lie because I feel like
I'm with you.
I feel like the Pistons are very, very confident in themselves. Versus the Knicks, I feel like they're very confident, and the Knicks might be questioning themselves.
Yeah, I agree. This is where I say the season matters. The season. You think if we swept them, you think they would come in with that same confidence?
Right.
They said, "Oh, we played these guys. Oh, we just beat them 3 out of 4, right?" You know what I'm saying? So they came in here because of that, with that confidence. So people can act like that doesn't matter when it does.
And they've had a big lead in both of these games. They've had a big lead. Well, I mean, the first game, I think that the biggest lead was 9. Tonight, the biggest lead was 15.
Right.
You what I'm saying? But they've had a lead in both of these games.
Right.
They led the entire game. Sometime in the first quarter, the Knicks were up like 16-15. After that, the Pistons led the entire game.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
So.
Yeah, man, we're in for a fight, man. Like this, we're in for a dog fight.
Yeah, a dog fight, and we got to get tougher. Listen, the Knicks lose 48-34 on the boards, and I mentioned this at the end, and when I did the post game to the first game on that post game show, I said we lost the boards by 1, and I said, listen, if we don't shoot well, if they don't shoot well, we got to be able to win the battle of the boards if we want to win the game. You know what I mean? So, we got to rebound better. But they dominated the glass 48-34.
I thought Darren played big boy ball today, man. Yeah. I know his numbers might not look crazy. I think he had like 11 and 12, but it felt even more impactful than that. Jalen Darren. That's a grown man out there, man.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I hate to keep getting on Bridges, but like, how many critical threes you gonna miss in crunch time, man? You gotta knock one of those down, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he had 18 points tonight. He was really the Knicks' only other guy
and like 19
scoring,
shots,
But I feel you. You gotta hit those, man.
18 points on 18 shots. You missed 3 crucial threes. I mean, gotta knock one of those down, man.
Yeah, we gotta hit him.
Gotta give me one.
He's gotta hit him.
I mean, the 2 guys we traded our whole team for, picks, all these players,
right?
No shows for the most part. Yeah.
It's depressing, man. Yeah. It's depressing.
Yeah,
it's definitely depressing.
Man. I'm tight, man. I'm like,
I think everybody's tight. Everybody's tight. Everybody's tight, man. Because
I think the Knicks are tight too.
They should
tight,
be.
Like
they should be.
Like, damn.
They should be, and I hope they're doing a lot of reflection. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't go lose game 3. You can't do it.
No.
Game 3 is on Thursday, 7 p.m. in Detroit. Game 4 Sunday, 1 p.m. in Detroit. Game 5 is back at the Garden, Tuesday, April 29th. I said I thought the series was going 6 anyway.
Me too. I've been thinking. I was at 6 or 7. I was there too.
Man, we might mess.
I felt like it was going to be
around and go 7.
Series.
We might mess around and go 7.
We just might.
I thought what I thought was going to happen, and I still feel like it can happen. This is the process of it happening. I thought it was going to be a tough series up until game 4. The series would be tied 2-2, and then the Knicks will take over from there. That's what I felt was going to happen. I got to look at the nuances of the game to see if I still feel that way.
Yeah, it could still happen.
I got to look at the nuances of the game. But that's what I thought was going to happen. I thought by game 4, the Knicks would have really figured out this basketball team, figured out how to consistently play with urgency, and then take over the rest of the series. That's what I said from the beginning, and let's see if it happens. I still got the Knicks winning in 6. Like, I mean, you got to lose. If I'm saying you got to win in 6, you got to lose some games. You know what I mean? And, what I said was going to happen, the Knicks were going to go through a learning process. I'm hoping that's what they're going through right now. I still got the Knicks winning in 6, though. Still got the Knicks winning 4-2.
Yeah. Gun to my head, I think I'm there as well. But I'm not going to lie, I'm nervous. I'm sweating a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sweating a little bit. I got to put the AC on, you know?
The Knicks played terrible. Listen, they gave up, they got out-rebounded. Only 15 assists. Shot 42% from the field. Shot 28.6% from 3. And they still had a chance to win in the end. It was tied with a minute left or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
But you can also kind of look at it like Detroit. Like, I feel like, Beasley, who usually hits threes, especially versus us. Like guys like that, they play well at home. Like those high
That's true.
role players.
That's true.
Like what if he gets going? He hasn't hit shots yet.
Yeah. Listen,
You
I think
man.
we split in Detroit, and then the Knicks take over from there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I think happens.
I hope you're right, man. I hope
so
I'm with
too.
you. If I had to choose, if I had to say.
I hope
But
so too.
there's some flags. There's some red flags. Like damn.
Well, now it's now it's on Tom Thibodeau to make some adjustments for the next game.
Oh, so let me ask you real quick, Cade. Do you kind of just say, all right, like we're not going to let you get yours anymore? Like he still will, but like do you trap him like more times than not?
I think
now?
Tom Thibodeau is not going to mix up the defense that much, but maybe sending some early traps to get the ball out of his hands, make somebody else have to do something. You know what I mean? I think that would be a good idea. Yeah.
He's having his way with pretty much anybody one-on-one. Even OG. OG's doing that. He's doing a good job. He's there. He's for the most part. He's usually there, but
Cade
he's just
good.
strong. Great player.
You do different things. You send two at him where he can see them both, and then on another play you send two blitzing at him. You know what I'm saying? You give him different looks.
Right.
Give him different looks defensively. Make him think throughout the entire game.
If I'm going to lose because of Tobias Harris, that wasn't meant to be. You know what I'm saying?
Say that again?
Like if we lose because we're trapping him, we're trapping Cade, and we lose because of Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway, then it wasn't meant to be. You know what I'm saying?
Like
I'll go down swinging, hoping those guys miss shots.
Yeah, send things at him. Send things at him. Bring Precious in. Let Precious play some tough defense on him and rough him up a little bit. Let Precious come in and get 5 fouls on him or something.
I'm
just to
with
rough him up.
I'm with that.
Look what they're doing to Brunson. They're killing Brunson.
Man.
They're killing Brunson. Kevin said Tibbs isn't even picking up Cade full court. I agree, right? You got to give him something different. Pick him up full court, right? Put a little guy on him. Put Deuce on him a couple of plays just to pick him up because maybe OG can't pick him up full court, right? Put Deuce on him a couple of plays to pick him up full court and just be aggressive with him. Like different things like that to give him different looks, make him have to think. So let's see how Tom Thibodeau adjusts going into Game 3 and how he defends Cade.
Right. Yeah,
that's really the only guy you got to adjust for offensively.
Yeah.
He's the only guy you got to adjust for on how you're going to play defense on him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he makes their team go in every way. He makes their team go. So you got to adjust how you play defense. And let's see what Tom Thibodeau does.
Right.
And then let's see how we adjust. Let's see how we adjust on the offensive side because we can't just have this dribbling for 15 seconds and then shoot.
No.
It's not. Yeah, we're not going to win that way.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No.
Yeah. All right, JJ.
Yeah,
appreciate it, man.
All right, man.
No doubt.
Appreciate it, brother.
Right,
Take it easy, man.
Peace. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Disappointment is disappointment. I don't know what to say. Disappointment is there. The Knicks lose the battle of the boards, ladies and gentlemen. 48-34, you heard me say it. 15 assists for the Knicks. 8 steals, only 1 block. 14 turnovers for the Knicks, 15 for the Pistons. Knicks shot 42% from the field. The Pistons 44.6%. The Pistons 22% from the three-point line. The Knicks not much better, 28.6% from the three-point line. Both teams in the mid-80s from the free throw line. Thibodeau. Detroit wins the battle in the paint, 46-40. Both teams with 11 second chance points, and Detroit wins in transition, fast break points, 15-14. But the big stat there for me is that 48-34 rebounding win for the Pistons, because that tells me there's a story inside that tells me that they've won the rebounding battle in both games, even though the first game was just by 1. But they're hitting the boards harder. They're trying more to grab rebounds. And so if they're going to continue to win the rebounding battle when both teams are not shooting well, which I could see happening throughout this series, then they're going to get second chance points. or they're going to clean up the defense and come back in transition. The Knicks can't lose the rebounding battle 48-34 to expect to win, especially if you're not shooting well. I just don't see it. Caller, you're live. Name me where you're from, please.
Vic Young, Pennsylvania.
What's going on, Vic? How you feeling, bro?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm just all right. I'm just all right right now. I'm just all right.
Last time we talked, I told you Julius Randle needed to be traded. They finally did it.
Mm-hmm.
We got somebody. The problem is, I know what you're gonna say. Tom Thibodeau. Just listen to the logic. Tom Thibodeau is an A+ defensive guru, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now look at what happened with Boston. I look at Doc Rivers. He may not be A+, but when it comes to the offensive side, because he played point guard in my brain,
mm-hmm.
he knows how to run a offense. So a defensive guru, offensive guru, he might not be an A+, but he was a guru. They made it work and won the championship. The problem is we don't have nobody on as an offensive coach that could override him. Not like violate him, but like this is what we need to do because he's not making the right calls at the right time.
Okay.
Everybody could see. Listen, for the last 3 years, just look at the plays that he do.
Mm-hmm.
When we get into when they do the zone on us, like you can't figure that out yet. This continuously happens. Things continuously happen, and you don't fix the problem. To me, at this point, it's not if he gets fired, it's when he gets fired. You're not the man for the job. You got us here. If you want to be the defensive coach on the sidelines, I'm good with that. But we need an offensive coach to deal with these offensive players. We got top 5 as big man, top 5 as point guard. We got wing stop.
Are they?
We got Josh Hart that do everything.
Are they?
We can't figure it out.
Are they wing stop? Because
I think they are.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We haven't. I don't know. I haven't really seen us shut down opposing wings like that this season.
You know why I say that?
Go ahead.
If you put the right combination together, I don't think he's putting the right combination together. He want to stick with these 5 players. You didn't give our bench the whole year to develop. Monday, not Monday, it was Saturday. You know what I was thinking when they was losing? I'm like, hey, why don't you go back to the your Bulls offense where you had Kirk Heinrich with Derrick Rose? Pitch him and take out either I know he's not going to take out Josh Hart, but hey, take out Bridges. Let Bridges run with the second core. Because now you got Bridges, you got McBride, you got Bridges, and then you will have Mitchell Robinson. Your defensive people coming in. You put Precious as the power forward, and you put Payne as the shooting guard. It's rotations. He don't want to switch no rotations. Like, make something work.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No. I think what you're saying, and I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I said okay is because like make something work. It's hard to make it work if it's not going to work. But trying something different, trying a different way to switch up the rotations, trying different lineups. You know what I'm saying? That's what the regular season is for. Once you get to the playoffs, you should know, you should have your lineups, and he's got what he considers to be his lineups that he's going to use. Personally, I just feel there's something missing with these players. There's something to miss, right? With the team we had last year, there was like we had all the pieces. The question was, and then the addition of Bridges. The question was, what was the ceiling? I don't know that we have all the pieces. We're missing that. We're missing that guy.
I think
we're missing that guy that can. We're missing that guy that can tell everybody that will get on his teammates. That and maybe that guy's going to develop on this team. Jay Beckton said we're mentally weak now. I agree with Jay. We're not as tough mentally as we were last year. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we're as tough mentally, and to me, it's due to the players that we have. I feel like we traded two aggressive guys for two laid back guys. Right? Two edgy
Well, then
guys.
I would say that we got a
and
for
so,
two laid back guys, you did still gain Sherman. I mean, he wasn't all the greatest. I mean, during the season, when he came back, but as it got to the end, he was on level field. Play him them same minutes.
Yeah, but see, this is
giving you progress.
But this is what I think we don't realize about some of those guys like Sherman and Campaign. There's a reason why they were almost out the league. There's a reason why they had to get a get a training camp contract because they're not consistent in doing that. So they have runs, but they're not consistent. Like as fans, we tend to think that these guys are always going to be consistent when they're not, and that's the reason why they were training camp contracts. It wasn't catching on with other teams. You know what I'm saying? Like how many times throughout the season did you hear people say, bench Campaign, oh no, play Campaign, oh no, bench Campaign, oh no, play Campaign, because these guys are off and on, and that's the reason why they bump around the league, because they had 3 or 4 games where they're really hot, and then all of a sudden it's not anymore. You know what I'm saying? And they're not consistent with it. So it makes it tough. It makes it tough because you see the potential that they have, but they can't do it consistently. The NBA is about consistency. You know what I'm saying? And in order to stay in the league, in order not to be an Exhibit 10, Exhibit 13 player, you've got to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of guys in the world that can go into the league and have a game and drop 15, 20 points in the game, but can they do it every single night? That's what keeps you in the league, doing it every single night, not every once in a while. If you do it, a coach wants to know every time I bring this guy in, I'm getting 15 points. I'm getting 10 rebounds, I'm getting 5 steals, whatever it is. When you're up and down with it, it's like, okay, all right, they're messing up again, or, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't feel like this matchup works with this player. You know what I mean? So consistency is key. And when you pick up guys that have been bouncing around the league, now sometimes you luck out and you strike gold, you strike oil, and you get a 1 or 2 seasons of really great play from this guy. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, these guys, there's a reason why these guys have been bouncing all over the place and you keep picking up training camp contracts and stuff like that.
So then that's real bad that we went the whole year with Sherman and Payne on the bench. and you could have traded them or did whatever you had to do to get them off and find somebody that you thought would give us a little bit of consistency to go win. Because our 5 that we got, it should be no excuse why we shouldn't at least get to the conference finals. It'll be a battle because it's only 2. I understand our record with those 3 teams, the Celtics, the Cavaliers, and OKC. But like y'all say, the season, playoffs, different beasts. Who came to play basketball? And if the front office didn't think that Shamit and Payne would come to play basketball, then that's a problem. Because if he's not going to play these people because he don't think they could do it,
so the thing
then
is,
we setting ourselves up for failure at the end of the year.
Yeah, so you got to look at the time when the trade went down, though. Right, the trade went down. Free agency was over. Who was you getting? Right, all you could get at this point was end of the bench, Exhibit 10, guys. So they try to get, okay, these guys have been veterans in the league. They know how to do it. They've had to crawl their way back into the league, so on and so forth. Around the trade deadline, there was nothing that the Knicks could really do. The salary cap stuff plays into it too. You know what I mean? So now you got to remember the Knicks are. You don't want to say rebuilding, but when they made that trade, they stayed kind of even, but the team changed. You know what I'm saying? But maybe their ceiling got a little bit higher, but now they got to re-add to the team. You know what I'm saying? And re-adding to the bench is part of re-adding to the team. So I think it was like, listen, we can't make any moves right now. I'm sure they called and tried. Can't really make any big moves. We're going to rock with this. And then in the offseason, add to that bench. Figure out a way to add to the bench. You know what I'm saying? We're not winning it all in one season. Huh?
I said, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So do you think that this team, I heard what you said earlier, because I think it's the effort and the grit to grind, like I don't care, dogs. Mm-hmm. Do you think this team this year or the team last year, if we would have went back, if we would have ran it back, do you think it would have been different than what's going on now with this team this year?
I don't think we have this kind of trouble with Detroit. Because
that's my point that I've been trying to make.
Because that team was more gritty. That team had more edge. You know what I'm saying? Did we beat Boston? I don't know. Probably not. Right? But that team had more grit. That team had way more grit, way more edge, way more volatile. You know what I'm saying? So I think we take Detroit out. We utilized our options better. We would have added Mikal Bridges. So, hopefully he would have added to the defense. He fit better with that team than this team, Mikal Bridges. Like, the Mikal Bridges pickup was perfect for that basketball team with Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges was perfect for that basketball. Like, that was a perfect fit for that basketball team. You know what I'm saying? And then you had DiVincenzo coming off the bench and Josh Hart coming off the bench and Deuce coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's danger.
Isaiah Hartenstein had already moved on. It was a perfect fit for that basketball team. You know what I'm saying? They made the trade, so now they got to retool the bench. So do I think that team would have – I think that team beats Detroit. Who knows, did they have enough firepower? Would they have had enough firepower to beat Boston? You know what I'm saying? But this team, I still feel has a higher ceiling. You just got to keep adding more pieces to the team.
Okay. I don't want to hold your head hostage.
Yeah.
I know you a coach, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. They said Alcordy came back, right? Would you switch the roster to mess up their mind, or do you think that Tom Thibodeau got some special 007 plans for the Celtics. Like we just gonna cakewalk out of here,
for the Celtics?
and he got a 007 plan for the Celtics.
Shit, we got to get out of this Pistons series first before we even start thinking about any 007 plans with the Celtics.
Oh man,
shoot. Nah, I don't see any 007 plans with the Celtics. We got to get out of this. Shoot,
listen,
we in for a dog fight.
Roster, we win.
We in for a
you
dog.
Put in Robinson, Towns, Anunoby, Hart, and Brunson.
Okay.
Take Brunson out in 6.5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And you put in McBride. Flip-flop, because you want the defense. Cade Cunningham, he's just walking all over them. Somebody got to try to slow him down.
Yeah. Okay. See what's up. Hey, my man, I appreciate your time, man. Good conversation.
Thank you for talking to me. Enjoy it.
No doubt. Peace. I don't know, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in for a dog fight with the Pistons. No doubt about it. We're in for a dog fight. We got a battle to the end. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you what. This is just me. When the Knicks make it out of this series, they're going to be a better basketball team. They're gonna learn how to fight through. They're gonna learn how to fight through. They're gonna learn how to battle. They're gonna learn how to be in a foxhole together. You know what I'm saying? I think they'll be a better basketball team. Do I think they'll beat Boston? We'll see what happens. I doubt it, but we'll see. I ain't gonna hold nothing against, sports are sports for a reason. But I do think when we make it out of this, we're gonna be a better basketball team going forward. We're gonna get better in this series. Just because of the challenge that they're bringing to us, and it's the type of we need this series to grow. We need series like this to grow together as a basketball team. You know what I mean? But we got a tough battle ahead of us. Big shout out to Uncle Fulio. He said Brunson literally was dribbling into the same double team for the first 3 quarters. This is where utilizing a secondary ball handler comes in handy. Yeah, I definitely agree. Definitely agree with you. Nick from Jersey, what's poppin', man?
What's going on, Sam? How you doing tonight?
As good as I can, I guess.
I don't only want to call in when good things happen. I feel like I should call in after this loss.
Yeah.
And just say, what you just said was spot on. They're when they get out of this series, they're gonna be better for it.
Yeah. They're gonna be better. And we talked about it before the season even started, but not the season, before the playoffs started. That the Pistons might be the perfect team for the Knicks to play to prepare them for the second round. Let's just say that. Because the Knicks have lacked so much, lacked a sense of urgency, lacked that fight, that ability to dig down deep, and the Pistons are going to make them do it, I believe. They're going to force them to bring that out of this team, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And all the talk about the Knicks not having you guys are talking about mental toughness, and it's really just because Bridges is kind of more chill than Dante DiVincenzo was,
Yeah.
And Cat is more chill than Isaiah Hartenstein was. I don't know if they're literally less tough. It might seem that way.
Okay.
But when they beat the Pistons, and the Pistons are supposedly the tough guy team, then maybe the Knicks might get some credit for being tough.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and I just wanted to say one more thing, and I'm not saying that the offense was good tonight, or it wasn't. It was definitely too stagnant. But I don't think that that's the problem. I mean, I think the problem is the defense and the rebounding. When they get, they're out rebounded by I think 13 tonight. When they get stops, the offense gets out in transition and the ball starts moving, and they get open threes, and they get layups, they get cuts. And outside of that, I mean, this is the playoffs. They're going to be playing half court offense, and you don't want Brunson hero ball, but Brunson's a hero. Brunson tied the game up tonight playing ISO ball. You know,
you do.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is how they won against Philly. This is how they won against Cleveland. We're going to be Brunson heavy in the playoffs. It's just if we could get stops, then we could open it up for the other guys and move the ball more. So, and the difficult part about this team is that you got to have Towns out there because he's your second best player, but you need Mitch out there to get those stops. So you got to go double big, but now you're going to sit Hart,
right,
or you're going to sit Bridges.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting Bridges, now you're putting Hart at 2 guard, and that kind of hurts your spacing a little bit. But I think honestly that might be their best lineup. Mitch in there for Bridges possibly. Because you're gonna have Brunson playing ISO anyway.
Right.
On half court offense, at least get the stops. At least have the bigs out there. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how Tibbs is gonna adjust for Game 3. That's what it's all, that's what it's all about now. How does he adjust? How can this team adjust? Yeah, we'll see.
I think they'll take one in Detroit, and
Yep.
I think Knicks will pull the series out in 6 or 7.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I think it'll be 2-2 after Detroit, and then I think the Knicks win the next 2 games after that.
Yeah,
I think they figure it out. Yeah.
And then you know what? And about 3 weeks from now, I don't want to get ahead of it, but if the Knicks finally end up playing Boston, after the last 2 years of not getting that series against Boston, if the Knicks get past Detroit and finally get a chance to face Boston, I'll be happy. Yeah. You know what I mean? At least we got to see how we are up against Boston in the playoffs before we could really assess this team.
Yeah.
So they got to win this series.
Yeah, for real. Got to.
All right, take care, man.
Appreciate it, man. Peace. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to head out for the night. Big shout out to my man, Uncle Fulio again. He said, I recommend Tibbs utilize Bridges more as a primary ball handler earlier in the game to counter Bickerstaff's pressure on JB. Second half is when Brunson should take over in that role. We'll see. We'll see what kind of adjustments are in store in Game 3, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the time. I'm going to head up out of here. I'll be on tomorrow sometime, so we'll chop it up then, and look at more strategies, more ways that the Knicks, can defeat this feisty Detroit Pistons team. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Postgame reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.